There is a few things that happened during the promulgation of the Kenyan Constitution that only a person with a sharp eye may have noticed. I want to repeat to remember that day so that I tell you what happened and what did not. I mean, what people, normal people, did not see. The first thing that happened is that you will notice that the president Mwai Kibaki was wearing the golden chain. The president was wearing the golden chain, and the president was wearing the golden chain, and he had never put on that golden chain in any time throughout his presidency. It's only on that day. That is something that did not happen. People did not notice. The golden chain is called CGH. I'll talk about that. That is the one thing that happened. The other thing that happened was uh, during that time, the president was supposed to show the crowd. You know, in any military parade, there is usually rehearsals. So the president had been briefed several times during rehearsals at the State House that he would only show the people in front of the multitude of people in front of him the Constitution. That is what was intended. But then at the last moment, the Attorney General Amos Sitswira Wako told him to go around 360 degrees. So when the president did that, the person on his right was the head of the military, General Kianga. Now General Kianga was not anticipating the president to face him. He was not anticipating the president to face him. And here was the president facing him. So what did he do? When the president was facing him, he got confused because here is the president facing him eye to eye. In discipline forces, any senior officer to you, you meet, you are supposed to salute. And then again, here is the Constitution. You are supposed to salute the Constitution. Here are two elements you are supposed to salute, and they came unannounced. So in that split second, before you make your decision, the president has already turned. I think either the ADC was cleverer or the ADC had a split second more time to think about it. He saluted. You see, in disciplined forces, for you to reach the rank of a general, you have to have an ADC. For you to reach the rank of a general, you have to have an ADC. All the DIGs have ADCs. The IG has an ADC. All service commanders have ADCs. And the president, as a general, he also has an ADC. The ADC is supposed to spend 99% of the time behind the general. So suddenly here was the general now facing the ADC, and the ADC had to think very fast. If he would have known that the president would show the book, would show the Constitution 360 degrees, he would have gone round, maybe even comical, the way the ADC did during the handover from Mwai Kibaki to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So that is the second thing that happened that was not foreseen. And again, in every military messes, various messes, we have around 7 different messes. Every mess there is a picture of the portrait of the president in a 5-star uniform. Now, during Kibaki's time, he has never been seen in public wearing a military uniform. So I don't know whether during his tenure there was a picture of him in military uniform in the messes. That is something also worth seeing. Now we come to this chain that he was wearing. It is called CGH, Chief of the Golden Heart of Kenya, Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart of Kenya. Now, the Golden Heart of Kenya is divided into three. The Golden Heart of Kenya is divided into three parts. Kenya, we have so many medals and whatever, but I will only comment on two. Uh, Order of the Golden Heart of Kenya and Order of the Burning Spear. They have three stages, the highest being Chief of the Order of the Golden Heart. And on the other side, we have Chief of the Order of the Burning Spear. In British system, where we heavily borrowed our system, the highest is called Commander of the British Empire. Commander. But in Kenya, we changed it to be Chief, because in Maasai language, Chief is a very senior person overall. So, and again, Jomo Kenyatta wanted to start an order that was different, an order that was maybe he wanted, because people used to call him Burning Spear, so he wanted to start an order which mirrored on the order of the British Empire, OBS, CBS, and OBE, CBE, and something like that. So, the highest in our order of the Burning Spear was Chief of the Burning Spear, which is CBS. And the highest in the Golden Heart was CGH. CGH in Kenya has only been put on by 5 Kenyans. The first one was Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. The second one was Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. The third was Mwai Kibaki. The fourth was Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And the fifth is William Samoei Arap Ruto. There is no time for its inventure. No, there is no time. It is only when the sword is given to you that is when you get it automatically. That is the only Kenyans who have had it. But foreign heads of states and heads of government, some of them have it. Some of them have Kenyan CGH. And it is given in only 2 occasions. Whether our president is paying a state visit to that country, or that president is paying a state visit to Kenya. So when the 2 heads of state exchange, the Kenyan head of state grants the other head of state CGH, and the other head of state grants the Kenyan head of state the equivalent in that country. So only Kenyans who have had it are 5, but outsiders you have to investigate. That is CGH. Then we come to level 2, which is called EBH, EGH. In Britain, it is called Member of the British Empire. But in Kenya, the 2, remember I said we have several, but I'm only talking of the 2. In Kenya, the 2, we have Moran of the Burning Spear, and Moran of the Burning Spear, and the Moran. Before we come to Moran, there is the Elder. In Kenya, we have placed there the Elder. We find that there is EGH. I'll repeat myself so as not to confuse you. The highest is CGH. Then following the highest is EGH, Elder of the Burning Spear. That is grade 2. Elder of the Burning Spear, EGH. And on the other side, it is Elder of the Burning Spear, EBS. Now, the people who are given EGH in Kenya are cabinet ministers. So, we have a few cabinet ministers because like now, we have, is it 20? Half of the 20 cabinet ministers, 10 of them have no EGH. So in December, let's say there are 10. not all of them will get the EGH, so that maybe they'll take 5 for those who have not taken. Now, if you have taken 5 and then maybe you die before next year's investiture, or you resign, or whatever, then you'll be a minister who served as a minister without an EGH. But EGH usually is given to ministers, and it is given to other prominent people, but mostly on the level of the ministers. First ladies are given EGH, and the president can give the second lady, if he so wishes, that is EGH. And on the other side, I said EBS. That is, we have moved from chief to elder. Now, from elder, we go to the third grade. The third grade is, in the other places, it's member of the British Empire. But in Kenya, we say it is Moran of the Burning Spear. And then the other one, we have MGH. This one is given to ambassadors, assistant ministers, permanent secretaries, and so on. And you'll find, and then this Burning Spear, chief of the Burning Spear is given to service commanders. So if you are a service commander, let's say an inspector general, you can be given, first of all, this year you can be given CBS, chief of the Burning Spear, and then the following year you are given Moran of the Burning Spear. And then the ministers got whatever. So in Kenya we have 3. We have the chief, the elder, and the Moran. But in British they have 3 levels. They have the commander, they have the member, and they have the order. OBE is the lowest, then MBE, then CBE. But in Kenya we have, instead of OBE, we have put the MBS. And instead of OBE, we have put the MBS. And instead of MBE, we have put the EBS. And then the commander, it's just the same as CBS. That was the promulgation of the constitution. Kizungu ilikuja na Mary. Thank you.